Is this why you're starting at your broadcast, Albert?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is. Oh, wait, my name is not that anymore. My name is Albert. What is up, everybody? It's time for Xbox Party
Yes.
Podcast once again. And I'm here with
Are you gonna
Dane.
say Octopus Studios?
I was about to, and then I caught myself. I'm like, I'm not Octopussy
Like
Videos.
that is my former self.
That is my former self, my former channel. If you guys want to look how to spell it, look down to where it says loading online, and you can see it down in the right-hand corner on GTA. We have a viewer. It's probably Armand. What's up, Armand?
It
How
probably
you
is.
doing?
Hello, Armand.
So, at the time we record this, the coronavirus epidemic is sweeping the
Oh,
nation,
yeah.
and there is so much hysteria going on right now
In the world.
in the world. Yeah, but our school, decided to make us okay. We are not going to be going to back to school until mid-April, and it is early March right now.
No, it's mid-March,
It's early March.
Because
March.
yeah, we're going back March 14th.
No,
Or
it
not
is.
March, April 14th.
Yeah, we're going
And
back
it was
April.
March 14th yesterday. Or, I think. Or
No,
is it Monday?
today's March 13th. Anyways, we have a solid month off of school. So this month, today was kind of boring, but this month I'm gonna have the most wild times that I've had in a long time. I'm
You're gonna go
free.
out during Corona.
I'm free of these chains that have been bestowed upon me, and I'm ready to take the world on during this month. Anyways, this game is
Are
taking
you gonna care if you
forever to
get
load.
Corona?
Huh?
What if you get Corona during your escapades?
Oh, speaking of Corona, my dog Corona. There was a little situation with Corona and another dog a few days ago. Number one,
Oh, yeah.
there's two situations with my dog Corona.
I, yeah.
Number one, he killed a dog, the neighbor dog, and so we were talking about euthanizing him or getting rid of him, and we ended up making a deal where he would go to my mom's house instead of my dad's house. So Corona's gonna be moving in the next few weeks over there, and yeah. So he almost got himself in some massive trouble. And then 2 nights ago, I was up late at night with my dad. I was watching the Doctor Who finale, even though it premiered like 2 weeks ago. Anyways, I was watching it with my dad, and I hear a bark in the backyard that I did not recognize. Now, I have two dogs, okay? Corona and Shadow. But this bark I did not recognize. So I go into the back, and there's a third dog. Now this, I was so confused. And Corona wasn't attacking this dog. Everyone was just cool with the dog being there. And it was just strutting around my backyard like it owned the place. And yeah, I had to go back. Apparently, it was the neighbor on the other side. It was their dog, so yeah, that dog had to go back. Apparently, it was a female dog too, which is probably why Corona and Shadow did not attack it.
Yeah.
Corona's growing
Corona
up.
and Shadow getting up to some interesting business.
Corona's got a bitch now.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Corona and his bitch. Anyways, people think that I named my dog after the virus, but I named my dog Corona 2 years ago. Okay, back in 2018.
Do
So,
people think that you named your dog
yeah,
after the virus, though?
they did. I tried to tell somebody about
Ooh.
it, like, it was like some retarded freshman that I was talking to, like, oh, you named it after a virus?
Oh!
Oh my god!
They named it after a beer.
I named it, actually, yeah, I did. I named it after a beer.
Yeah.
I named it after the sun, the thing behind the sun, but no. I wasn't thinking about that at the time.
The thing behind the sun.
You know the corona, when there's an eclipse?
Oh, okay. Was
Con-
that your first thought?
I don't know. I don't even know what I was...
Since you have Corona and Shadow.
2018 was such a blur for me. I don't even remember half of what happened.
2018?
Yeah. I had,
Oh.
like, no emotion at all throughout 2018.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a very bad year for me. Ugh. Anyways, it's funny how quickly life changes, you know? I've been thinking about that a lot recently. Every year in the past 3 or 4 years have been so different. And I've been in such a different place every single year.
Because now you
And
got coronavirus stuff.
the coronavirus isn't... I'm talking about, like, personally, like, things have been just... Oh my god! Not in the water, please! Okay,
Again,
almost. Things have been just...
that happens so much.
I
How do
know.
you drive your car into the water all the time?
No clue. Anyways, I'm just
It happens
thinking...
a lot.
Like, I was such a different person 2 years ago. For example, I'm gonna be kind of open here with what's, like, I'm gonna get pretty personal and deep. 2018, I was, like, fucking suicidal as shit. And I was, like, fucking 210 pounds and shit. 2019, my parents got divorced. So I ended up having to, like, adjust to a whole new environment. And plus, a bunch of my friends left, like, left the school and stuff. So I had to, you know, I had to stick with the friends that I had, you know, that still stayed. And also in 2019, I quit my longtime YouTube channel, Octopussy Videos. And that was such, like, a turbulent time, 2018 and 2019. Like, 2019 wasn't that bad, but 2018 was horrible. Like, I was really depressed in 2018. And then 2019, I felt like all the chaos just kind of freed me from that in a way. And now finally in 2020, I'm at somewhat of a stable place now. You know? Things are somewhat looking up, you know? It only took me like 3 years to fucking get here. Anyways, I'm gonna be turning 18 in July, so... I just
Pretty
can't...
crazy.
I can't help but feel like that I wasted my entire adolescence doing nothing. And I know, Dane, me and you talked about this like last night or whatever, but I kind of want to talk about it on the stream also. But yeah, I just feel like, yeah, oh yeah, I broke one of the cardinal rules right there of engaging media. Okay, there's this rule in media: if you talk about, like, let's say if you're making a video, if you talk about that you're in a YouTube video, it ruins the immersion, and I just kind of did that, so, yeah. I'm catching
Wait,
my...
how did you ruin it? What?
Okay, so there's this rule in media that, like, oh, if you make a YouTube video and you reference that you're in a YouTube video and you break the fourth wall like that, then it ruins the immersion, and I just kind of did that.
People do that all the time.
I know, but
What?
they're...
But
Yeah,
no, that's like for movies. That doesn't exist for YouTube videos, though.
I guess you're right about that.
I mean, I don't think.
I guess it's mainly a thing in movies. Also, I'm gonna try not to edit this one too much, because... I'm just not gonna do it. Like, there's not gonna be any cuts or anything, you know? So...
Are you just gonna upload the whole...
Yeah, that's what
how long we do this?
that's what I'm doing with the Andrew Smith one. Jesus Christ, that was the last episode, guys, and I apologize for everything Andrew said. It's horrible, and he's a
Are you gonna
weirdo.
upload these in order, though? That's another thing.
I'm definitely doing the Andrew one in order. That one is just so weird.
I mean, he's a strange guy.
He is a strange guy. And I'm honestly kind of scared of uploading it because he says some really weird shit in there that I don't want it to reflect onto us at all. He's just too strange for common people to consume, you know? Just too weird. Too weird, you know? Oh yeah, and Mark and Braxton are not here today, again. I don't know where they're at. Marcus probably off with the hair girl, and Braxton's probably...
Yeah, it's
I don't
probably
know what he's doing.
Callie.
Oh my god. Well, that's who he's doing, not what he's doing.
That's true.
I find it funny how me and Braxton just kind of make fun of his girlfriend, and he never defends her at all. Like, he never gets mad, he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Anyways, Dane, how has your day been today? First day of spring break. How's it going?
I'm good. And basically spring break, isn't it?
Yeah, 1 month of spring break. How you doing?
Good.
Come on, Dane, where's the charisma?
Oh no, there... You think I have any?
You did last time when Andrew was here.
Yeah, that's because he just says wild things. Well, because tomorrow's Sunday. I'm guessing they're gonna, like, send out an email or something on how we're gonna do school still, but...
Oh yeah, we're supposed to be doing school online. That is so weird.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
I don't know either. Like, I'm telling you, a majority of kids are not going to be doing the work the first, like, few days.
Including you.
Okay, I'll kind of have to.
You don't do your work at school, how are you gonna do it at home?
What do you mean, I do my work at school?
I mean, some of it.
I do what I have to do.
I do that.
I do what I have to do. Anyways, life is not... You know what I find weird about life? People tell you that there's only like 1 or 2 paths that you have in your life. Like, oh, you have to go to school, you have to go to college, you have to get a 9-to-5 job. And then eventually, when you're 65 or 67 now, you retire. And why are we told to do the same stuff? I mean, if everybody else did it, what's the point of you doing it too, you know?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about, like, if it's been done before, then why even try to do it at all? And that's true of a lot of things. Yet you're still expected to do a lot of different stuff. Just because it's proven. When, I feel like in life...
There's a limit on how much different stuff you can do.
I know, but people should be trying to live unique lives instead of trying to go for the basic, you know, necessities. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people these days, they don't strive for more. When I feel like there's a lot of more opportunities now than there was in decades past, but people just don't care and they don't strive for it. So people are just unaccomplished. Dane, are you there?
Yeah.
You have nothing to add to that?
So I mean, it depends on your definition of unaccomplished or accomplished. Some people are perfectly fine with where they are and they feel like they're accomplished, so...
Okay, is it better to be happy? Is it happy to be is it... Okay, I need to phrase this the proper way, because I sound like a retard. Is it better to be simple and content, or is it better... Or is it better to be intelligent and never satisfied? And yeah, I feel like, you know, that's a question that people need to ask in their lives. Do you want to do the easy thing, or do you want to become better and have your life be a bit harder, you know? Dane, you're not very talkative today. I'm trying to branch off for a
No.
conversation. You're just like, you're dead. Not talking at all.
Yeah.
Come on, Dane, you need energy. I have all these ideas in my mind, and you're just there. You're just watching me through the windows.
Watching you through the window.
It's like what Mark says, you're the guy in the walls.
No, I say that about myself too.
How did that originate?
I don't know. I just said, oh yeah, I live in your walls, Mark, and now it's what I think.
Do you remember
Kind of
if you,
strange,
do
but
you remember if you, like, yesterday or whatever, when Mark tripped on the chair?
yeah.
That was so
Was it
stupid.
yesterday?
Yeah. Okay,
Oh
so
yeah, he was like trying to sit on it, and then he just fell for
Mark,
no reason.
okay, in our English class, Mark, just all his intelligence, if he has any, disappears, and he just becomes...
I don't think he has any to begin with.
You don't?
No.
Anyways, all his...
It's not just in your English class, in every class. He's just dumb. He gets bullied by freshmen. How do you...
He does? Wait, he does?
Yeah, like Dylan.
How?
I don't know. I don't know what they do. He just gets bullied by them. To be fair, his definition of bullying is a lot different than everybody else's. So.
Yeah. He thinks that us talking about the man is bullying him.
Yeah. That's making fun of something stupid.
We're making fun of the man, not you, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark doesn't seem to grasp that. Anyways,
Mhm.
so, in the English class, intelligence leaves him, and he just does the weirdest things. For example, I forget what he was doing. He was trying to, like, suck on something right by your ear. And he ended up... No, I remember what it was. He was slurping on water really loudly, you know, in a very obnoxious way, like this. But he did it right by Dane's ear, and he ended up going down the wrong tube in his throat, and he ended up choking. But instead of choking and coughing like a normal person, he falls back onto the ground. He flails around for like...
No, I think he like tripped on the leg of a chair, fell over, and then just started dying.
He flails around on the ground for a while. Everyone just stares at him. And then he busts out laughing, which causes him to choke again, and he falls on the ground again. It's just... why? Why are we dealing with stuff like this? In 2020...
It's Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, Mark is truly the Carl Pilkington of the Xbox Party podcast. He truly is. For those of you who get that reference...
I wonder how many people get that reference.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, he was one of the co-hosts on the Ricky Gervais show, and he was a retard. And he actually is a lot like Mark, so, yeah. Anyways, I've known Mark a long time. Since we're on the subject of Mark, I like this right now sounds like we're kind of bullying him, but we're not.
No, he deserves it.
Like it may sound like we're kind of roasting on him a little bit, but everyone needs a little huffing and juffing a little bit of the time, you know?
What does that even mean?
A little bit of giffing and gaffing. I don't know what that means.
Giffin and jiffin.
Giffing and jiffing, giffing and gaffing.
I know Mark understands that. We do this to him all the time. So.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't know why, but there's this area in my game with like these giant cell towers. And this reminds me of when I was a kid. I was like 9 years old, and I was going through my super edgy phase, where I listened to Linkin Park and Fall Out Boy, and I skateboarded, and I had emo hair, and I was like 9, by the way. I was 9, okay? Anyways, this must have been like 2010, 2011-ish, so, yeah. Anyways, enough with that. I've said anyways like 7 times in a row. Damn, this is not good podcasting. It's not how you do it. Anyways. Oh, damn it, I did it again.
Albert, come on. Hold yourself.
The point I'm trying to make is, I was at the skate park one day with my friend Ethan and his older brother Ian, and this skate park had a whole bunch of like cell towers around it that led in a perfect line and had these power lines over it, and it looked really badass, which is kind of why it reminded me of the area in my game. Anyways, doesn't matter. So we were there super early before the park opened. I believe the park opened at like 11, and we were there at like 10:30. And we were just sitting there waiting. And I remember, like, Ian is like, oh, we should hop the fence. And I was like, I might have been edgy, but I wasn't a rule breaker, okay? I was so paranoid about hopping the fence. I was like, I don't know about hopping the fence, guys. This might be a bad idea. I don't know, guys. We shouldn't do this. What if they find us? And I ended up hopping the fence anyway. And
yeah, that's just what you do.
yeah, I'm really not the type of person to be a rule breaker. Like, even as a kid, I really wasn't, so. Anyways, back to what I was saying. While we were there, one of Ian's friends, who was also a skater, came over. And to keep in mind, Ian is like 11, I believe, at this time. So, yeah.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, now he's like 22, 21. So, yeah, I think he's 22 now, Ian. So this is like a good 10, 11 years ago that this occurred. So, holy shit, I heard a missile. Anyway, so he ended up introducing me to this skater friend of his, and this guy was the weirdest guy I've ever seen in my life. He was called the Penguin, okay? And he was this fat kid.
Oh yeah, that's
This kid was called the Penguin,
I
okay?
remember you telling me.
Yeah, he wore like, I don't even know, he wore some of the most horrendous clothes I've ever seen. And he was like fat and he had Harry Potter glasses. And this kid, okay, he never spoke a word to us. All he did was make penguin noises, okay? Like, like that. That's how this fucker communicated, okay?
I know about the penguin. I you haven't gone into that much detail about him before.
Yeah, and this guy, he was like, I don't know. I was just so confused and perplexed by his very existence. And now over 9-10 years later, over like a decade later, I'm still wondering, whatever happened to the penguin? What is his real name? And where did he go?
You never learned anything about him, did you?
He's just called the Penguin, that's all I know.
He's just the penguin.
He was apparently really good at skating. So, I don't know if he kept on
Did you
doing
ever
that.
see him skate?
Yeah, I did. You see, at the time I was really scared of, like, actually skating. Like, I barely knew how to do it because I was like a fucking gay-ass 9-year-old. Didn't know how to do it. So I just skated on my belly. And me and Ethan would just do that all around the park.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
And at one point during this day, one of the, like, people that worked at the park that the skate park was at, because there's like a park right there that had like a playground and shit. Anyways, one of the people
is
over
this
there.
near the hospital?
No. I don't even know where the hell this was. I've tried to find this place and I still haven't found it. Anyways, so one of the park people came over. She's like a black lady, and she's like, "Hey, you two cannot be doing that shit here." And we're like, oh, "Okay, I'm sorry." And yeah, we ended up doing it again, and we got yelled at again. And then we got threatened to be thrown out of the park if we did it one more time. And yeah, that was my day back in 2011, 2010. Don't remember if it was don't remember which one it was, but you know, it was around that time. Anyways, that's my story. My long ass story that took me 10 fucking minutes to tell about the penguin and
Yeah.
shit.
The penguin.
The penguin.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. He's just so fat, you know, the glasses, and he don't make that speak like a penguin.
I know it's. I think that my life is really boring, and then I actually think back at all the weird shit I've seen. I'm like, nope, it's really very interesting.
You know some very strange people.
Oh! Oh my god! That just reminded me of something. Okay. Okay, guys. Oh my god, my car!
What?
No!
Oh no, not again.
Of course this happens. Like, this is like a theme in this show. Just my car getting blown up for no reason.
Morse Mutual Insurance, how can we help you? I'll do my best.
Anyways, back to what I was saying before I got rudely interrupted. Back, like, in 2015, I had another podcast, okay? Way before the Xbox Party podcast.
This is the one with the guy from New York.
Kind of. So, at the time, I was on a podcast called The Real Whovians Cast with a guy named Joe, also known as Matrix Lord 212. He's still active, so go subscribe to his YouTube channel if you're into, like, nerdy stuff, like I am, so... Yeah, anyways, I was on a show, and how it worked is, we pretty much recorded Google Hangouts, and we recorded the Google Hangouts, and then we would upload them as a podcast, you know? And I ended up being introduced in 2015 to, like, 100 different people on this thing, and some of them I'm still friends with to this day, like Jacob, who I still talk to from Australia. Shout out to him. Anyways, one day, me and Jacob, we were going on Google Hangouts, and there's like this, there's this feature on there called Random Hangout, or there was, and it would put you in, like, it was kind of like Omegle in a weird way, except it wasn't anonymous, and it would put you in, like, some random pairing of a hangout, like, just some random ass hangout. Anyways, so one day, we get put into this hangout with these two kids who were in high school. One of them, ironically, was named Joe, and he was another YouTuber called, like, I forget his YouTube channel. It's like Awesome Guy Gaming or some shit like that. And there was another guy on there called Chase. Chase Skies was his name. And I ended up becoming friends with these guys, and we talk a lot about life, and we all decide to do a podcast called The Comedy Cast. And he ends up inviting some of his high school friends on there, and the whole point of it was that we would tell stories. So it was pretty much a giant precursor to what we're doing right now on the Xbox Party podcast, except it was with these random guys. And I ended up getting to know them a little bit more, and Joe, Awesome Guy or whatever, that guy was really cool, but his friend Chase was weird, okay? He was such a strange dude. He had an obsession with the show Paw Patrol, and,
What?
yes, he had an obsession with
That's some strange stuff.
he was like 16 years old, and he was watching Paw
That's
Patrol,
weird.
and he had, like, Paw Patrol, like, shirts and shit like that. He was another fucking fat kid. It's always the fat ones that are weird. Andrew Smith is a prime example of that. Anyways,
That's not wrong.
anyways, so this kid, Chase, one day I ended up doing one of my comedy casts with him, and I ended up doing like 5 or 6 of these casts, so I didn't do too many of them. But I believe on the third one, I went up to go get water, and this dude legit screen shared Paw Patrol hentai while I was gone on the live
Oh.
stream. There was legit
Oh,
dog
that's
dick
not good.
on my YouTube channel for like 30 seconds. I end up coming back and I have no idea what happened. And then I watch the videos again once I go to upload them. And I'm like, holy shit! So I end up having to delete it. And I get like really mad at him and I fire him from my comedy cast for that. And yeah, the comedy cast ended after that. For obvious reasons.
That's weird.
No, this guy, he was such a fucking weirdo too. He was like, you could tell that he didn't really get out much, you know? And I don't know, he just gave me a weird vibe. Anyways,
Yeah, that's weird.
I kept all the comedy casts up except that one episode where he showed the dog dick. And eventually, like a few months later, we recorded all these in March of 2015, back when I was living in an apartment, very briefly, which I'll go into a bit later. But there was a time period where I flooded my house, and I had to move into an apartment for a month. It was actually really cool because they had like a pool at this apartment, and I invited Ethan over there, and we'd hang out over there all the time, go swim in the pool and stuff. Yeah, it was right by IHOP, Dane. It was that, like, complex right by
And there
IHOP.
are quite a few IHOPs.
I'll tell you later. Anyways, it was during this time, back in March, when I recorded all the comedy casts. Anyways, Christmas rolls around, and I go to Legoland with my family, and Jacob and I end up having a falling out for whatever reason at the time, and he ends up, like, trying to threaten me with a copyright claim on my comedy cast, so I end up just taking them down. Because he was featured in all of them as my co-host, so...
Yeah, my copyright strike your comedy cast.
Anyways, the
Now,
real...
looking back, do you find that as cringy, though?
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got in contact with Matrix Lord 212, or Joe. Not the 16-year-old Joe that I was talking about earlier, but this was like a guy from New York named Joe, who's the one who got me into like the whole podcast scene and everything. Anyways, yeah, I was talking to him today, and his Twitter rants just, it kind of make me cringe. And I have nothing against the guy, like, I'm really cool with him. Like, I don't want him to think that I'm attacking him if he sees this or anything. Because I'm not. Just, the Twitter stuff is kind of cringy, man. Tone it down a little bit. Anyways, on his show, The Real Whovians Cast, there was so much drama back in the day over fucking Doctor Who podcasts. It was so unbelievably cringy. And it wasn't, like, his fault or anything. It was just kind of the people that were attracted to it, you know? Anyways, so Dane, you still there?
Yeah.
So, like, there was, like, a giant, like, thing, like, a giant schism in his community. Because he had over 100 members at one time on his show, and half of them quit to go form their own podcast. And they would, like, make exposed videos on each other all the time. And then, again, when I was on the cast, there's this guy named Connor, who's from England, and a guy named Mike D, who's, like, from Florida or whatever. And they decided to, like, start their own thing, their own podcast, where they would shit on the Real Whovians cast, called the Who Crew Uncensored. And, it was so goddamn cringy. And, oh my god, they were just, like, all the drama that happened in that community was just cringy to me, looking back. You know, back when I was, like, 13, I think, when I was into all that stuff, I really thought it was something I had to defend. I had to defend the Real Whovians cast. I had to fight for my fellow people.
Whovians.
My fellow Whovians, yeah. It was... damn. No, but the thing is, at the time, I could have gotten a girlfriend too, if I wasn't so into that shit. Because at the time, when I was in middle school, I had girls that were interested in me, but I was too consumed with this fucking Whovian drama to give them any attention.
That's just bad.
I know! I was too concerned with the damn Real Whovians cast to get a girlfriend. There was this one, like, really attractive girl that was into me too, and I just ignored her all the time. And thinking back at that, I just cringe. I'm like, what the hell was I doing?
Yeah.
Why was I so focused on the damn, Doctor Who and Doctor Who podcasts and stuff like that? Like, I like Doctor Who now, but I'm not as obsessed as I was. Like, I was legit obsessed with it at the time. Like, I thought about it, like, every fucking day and shit. I would, like, it got so bad to, like, the first thing I would do in the morning is go on Twitter and, like, look at all the rumors and all the, like, leaks and stuff every single morning. Like, that's the first thing I would do. And then I would do it again when I would do it again when I got home from school to see if there's any other leaks and rumors. Like, it was just bad. I was way too into it.
It's just bad.
Like, how the fuck were any girls into me at the time? I don't even understand.
Yeah, that's very cringe.
Just FYI to everybody out there, I still love Doctor Who, I still love video games, I still love all the nerdy stuff. But not to the level that I did when I was 13. Like, I've learned to balance my real life and stuff I like a lot more in recent years. Because when I was 13, I had no balance in my life at all. Dane, how do you feel about all that?
I don't know.
This was around the time that we met, Dane.
It was?
Yeah, all this was going down around the time that we met.
Huh.
What do you think when you met?
Before that.
What do you think when you met me and Mark for the first time?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't really remember.
You don't really remember? Dane, you need energy. Come on, man.
I don't.
Anyways, I've told a lot of good quality stories in this podcast tonight so far. Dane, you should do some talking. Like, we need to know more about Dane Moat, okay? We need to know more about him.
You do?
Yes, we do. Because
You
you're always...
remember the interesting things.
Yeah. Like, what are you all about? We know a lot about me, Mark, and Braxton, but we don't know much about you.
Yeah. I don't know anything interesting. That you...
Who was one of the cringiest kids you knew back in elementary school?
Trying to think. There was this one time I got stabbed in the face by someone with their fingernail. I was on the swings.
Wait, what?
That wasn't cringy, it just kinda happened.
Tell me that story.
I was on the swing set, and then someone walked in front of me. I was about to get off, so I was slowing down the swing, and then yeah, they got in front of me, stabbed me in the forehead, their fingernail.
Damn. That's crazy. Have I ever told you the
I
story?
might have the scar there still, I don't know. I also fell on the corner of a brick one time in my house. And I think I have a scar on the forehead there too.
That's it? Dane, we were expecting more from this.
No, what else do you want to know?
Like, okay, you knew two guys at the same time named Vincent, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about them. Dane, you need to come out of your shell. You need to be a personality like me and Mark are. We're personalities, Dane. Hello?
I'm gonna be a personality.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay, whatever, never mind. Have I ever told you the story about Paul?
Paul Cross?
No, a different Paul.
I don't think so.
Back in elementary school, there was this kid, this very weird kid named Paul. And this guy, legit, was like, he almost like stalked this one girl in my class at the time. Like he was really creepy towards her and stuff. Like he would always like go around and like, I don't know, just be like a creep. And he's always like, he was kind of like the like the Andrew Smith of his time, you know? But without all the, you know, obscenities.
With all the kid stuff.
Except, yeah, not that. Not that. But you know, like how Andrew's like a, kind of like a weirdo? This guy was kind of like that. And people kind of viewed him the same way, as kind of like this really weird thing. This really weird guy. Shit, this car broke down. Anyways, so one day I remember I got cast in, you know how like in elementary school they have those readers theaters
Yeah.
that you have to do in front of the class?
Yeah.
One day I get paired into a group with some people, like 4 or 5 different people for the readers theater. And I get to be chosen to be like the main hero guy. And there was only 2 guys in the group, me and Paul. And there was a third guy.
Oh, no.
Oh geez, that's gonna get me copyright striked. Anyways,
Good night.
there's like 3 guys in the group, and all the girls nominated me to be the main guy at the time. And the 2 other dudes, one of the other guys did also. And Paul gets so pissed off. He's like, "How dare you get chosen over me? How dare you?" And he gets up in front of class. He starts screaming at all the girls for them picking me over him. And they're like, "How dare you?" And he like starts yelling at me, and he's like, "Give me your role right now. I want that role. Give it to me now." And I'm just like, "Paul, calm down, dude. It's just a role." And he ends up having to be sent out of class. Or I end up telling the teacher how he's acting, and he gets sent out of class. But after school, I see him talking with his dad, and he's like crying in front of his dad, and I actually felt really fucking bad for like sending him out of school, you know? For telling on him, you know? Despite him acting like an asshole.
Yeah.
And it turns out a few years later that it turned out he had like autism or something. So I feel like the school system doesn't really cater to kids with autism. Like, it doesn't help them at all. They just kind of expect them to thrive in an environment that doesn't suit them, you know?
Yeah.
And so I feel kind of bad for him now in retrospect with age.
With age.
Like, I realize it must have been really hard on the guy.
I remember one time I was in school, and there was this one kid, he didn't have like any mental problems, he just had anger issues. I don't know what happened, but I was gonna go in the bathroom, and then he was like in there just like banging on the stall door.
What the hell?
Okay, never mind, not going in there anymore.
What
And
the
the
hell?
teacher came and was like, yeah, it's best you don't go in there.
What the hell? Okay, that's the kind of story I wanted like 10 minutes ago. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I always feel drawn to the weird kids that all the other kids reject. Like those are the kids that I try to be sympathetic to and I become friends with. For example,
Like Sturgis.
yeah, I was gonna get into that actually. For example, when I was 12, I became friends. This is when I was hardcore into my Doctor Who phase. And it's not really a phase, but this is when I was like obsessed with it, you know? I ended up becoming with this one guy named Jameson.
Oh, Jameson James.
Yeah, and we ended up becoming friends over Doctor Who, and then yeah. So it turns out all the other kids just hated this kid. He was new, he had moved here, and like all the other kids like make up lies about him all the time and stuff, and say that he was really weird and stuff. But I never saw any of that. Like the guy legit was like just a really lonely kid, and I remember like Halloween that year going over to his house, and it was like really awesome because this was the last year I ever trick-or-treated because I was like 12 years old and I thought I was too old for it, and it was just an awesome time. And I remember just all the other kids would just like shit on him all the time. And the thing is, like this guy was like at a really bad place in his life at the time when we met. For example, like he moved in with his grandparents because I don't know what happened. He had like some family problems back where he lived in Southern California. So we got sent all the way to Central California where we live to like sort out the stuff. So he was living with his grandparents. And he would always tell me at the time like about how depressed he was, and at the time I didn't realize like what he was going through because at the time I was at a really good place in my life. I had no concept of depression or sadness at the time. Like I was on top of the world at the time, you know? And yeah, it's weird how like we were in two completely different places at our lives when we became friends. And then a few years later, I ended up becoming friends with another guy. This is when I go into high school, okay? A guy named Sturgis, okay? Now, take what I just said about, like, Jameson being the kind of sad one and me being the really cool one. Reverse that now. Freshman year of high school, I'm the super depressed, like, lonely kid who, like, is, like, really depressed and stuff. And Sturgis, on the other hand, is this really charismatic jokester, just like how I was a few years before. And he also was kind of like a new kid who didn't really belong to the environment he was in. And people kind of, I don't know, I just feel like those two friendships mirrored each other in a lot of ways because I was only friends with both of those guys for 1 year, for one grade. And then they ended up moving away, or they ended up leaving or doing something else. And I feel like they both, like, taught me different things, you know? Like, I feel like one taught me how to be more, in touch with my emotions, and one taught me how to be more in touch with my, like, charisma, you know? Because I went too far into the emotional direction, you know? And I find that interesting. Dane, have you ever had something like that where you feel like people you meet are there to like move you forward in the world? Like you're supposed to learn something from your friends?
Yes, Sturgis was like that.
Sturgis was like that? How?
Yeah. I became the not sheltered kid all the time.
So you feel like meeting Sturgis, yeah, I feel like a lot of people at the school were super sheltered before Sturgis came too. And then, yeah. Now it's like so far in the opposite direction, it's crazy. People went from being scared to say, like, they were too scared to, like, even cuss at the school I was at. Because at the school I go to, it's middle school and high school, so they were just too scared to even fucking cuss or anything like that. And then, like, in a span of like a month of Sturgis being there, it went from them being too scared to cuss to them doing like popping pills in the bathroom and selling weed and shit.
That actually happened.
I know, like, one guy got kicked out for all the weed that he had on him. And...
Honor James.
oh god. I hear he got fired from his McDonald's job for trying to
No,
sell...
he did.
Yeah, he was trying to sell weed out of the drive-thru apparently. It's hilarious.
That's honestly not surprising at all.
That's honestly really funny.
Yeah, no, Jackson told me, he's like, all he wants is money for Modern Warfare and Xbox Live.
He did not go very far in his life.
No. Did you know he got kicked out, though? Like, actually, from their school?
It was definitely for drugs. I don't know if it was...
Yeah, it was
if
Adderall.
Was it Adderall? I thought it was Percocet.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Adderall.
I know he did Percocet, but... whatever.
We don't know how many different drugs he did.
Dude, the class right above us, there's so many, like, druggy losers in that class. All they do is get high all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's pathetic. They think they're so cool, but it's actually pathetic. I have no problems with people, like, vaping occasionally, or smoking weed occasionally. Keyword being occasionally. But these fuckers, it's their lifestyle. They do it every day. And some of them even go on to, like, pills and stuff, and that's really dangerous, going on to pills. I don't recommend that at all.
I don't recommend it.
I don't.
And I are not speaking from personal experience, but it kind of sounds like it.
It kinda does. I've only experienced the vape. I haven't experienced anything else.
Yeah.
And it was like some shitty triangle-shaped vape. Shaped like a fucking triangle. And it tasted like fucking ash. So I tried it like one time and I'm never doing it again. I don't get how people get addicted to that shit. At all. I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Where the heck did you come from?
Again, people only do that because they think it makes them cool. They care too much about what people think.
Yeah,
The only thing I...
peer pressure.
yeah. Everyone just succumbs to peer pressure all the time. The only thing I care about is surpassing everybody in intellect. Which I've almost done.
Which I've almost done.
The people at our school, I definitely have. And that's not arrogant to say, it's just kind of the truth. I've done all the talking this episode, Dane. And Dane, you've said nothing.
Yeah.
You know what? This kind of reminds me of when I used to do, like, Let's Plays on Octopussy videos.
You're playing GTA or something?
No, I would just, like, talk about, like, random things. And I remember one, I tried to watch one recently, and it was like my Advanced Warfare Exo Survival series, which was one of my favorites that I did. And I tried to watch it, and there was one where I'm like really racist towards Australians for no reason.
How do you even be racist to an Australian?
I don't know. But I was just like, I was
I
making
feel
fun
like
of,
they wouldn't even care.
I was making fun of like the Australian narrator's voice the entire time, like, ha ha. Like I forget what I said, but it was like it came off as really offensive when I tried to watch it again now, and yeah. And I forget like how annoying I used to be in my early YouTube days.
I feel like we all do. Like in general.
We all used to be annoying.
Yeah.
Like, Dane, I don't think you were ever annoying. You were always just quiet. I never found you annoying at all. Where the hell am I? Whoa, the lights look
I
so
don't know.
cool. Let's see if I get Braxton in here.
Is he even on?
Yeah.
Like, is he actually there?
I was talking with him earlier. Oh yeah, I went to the store earlier today to go get some chips. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, I went to the store to go get some chips, and I was just walking around, and I saw some interesting stuff while I was on my way to this corner store. Number one, I saw
Like
these.
what?
I saw these like two like full-blown emo kids. They had like red hair, and one of them had blue hair. They had Slipknot and My Chemical Romance shirts, and I was just surprised that that still existed. Like that was still a thing that's still around, you know? Anyways, they were talking about dying from the coronavirus, and I thought that was really
Of course.
cringy. Anyways, so I end up getting to the store to go buy some Chester's hot fries, and I end up going in there, and it smells like fucking cat piss.
Cat specifically?
Specifically cat piss. And it was just so disgusting in there. I just had to leave immediately, you know.
I just had to leave.
I got my chips and I just dashed.
Holy shit! God damn! You
Anyways, this has been a really good, stream. But like everything in life has to come to an end. So I'll see you guys
It was
later.
true.